So thank you very much to Nuno and IST. I'm now working with IST to drive some of my research passion. And in a team, obviously with Nuno, with Miguel, maybe with you, INCORE, this is an open invitation to work together. And it's about designing a lifeboat that's going to survive that storm. And that lifeboat is in the storm, it's in the water. It has to work with them, not just blue skies. We're calling our project 2B. Has anyone ever heard Meet Me in the cartoons?
Yes.
Yes, Coyote Roadrunner, who tries to invent stuff. Looney Tunes, there you go. Meet Me. You have to be fast. You have 9 months to be successful. 9 months, yes. No, I know it's like pregnancy, but you actually do have 9, 10 months. If you're not through the worst weather, then you have to really reconsider what you have to do. Because people change, money changes, climates change. COVID comes along, right? Las Palmas, volcanoes explode. So this project is about requirements for resilient innovation ecosystems, things that change, that can adapt to change and survive. This is about survival. I wrote a book on this ages ago with a wonderful lady called Verna Leon in the West. Verna is retired now. I continue the research. Goes back 20 years into living systems theory, into complexity theory, into organizational social dynamics, because this is people. It's not just a product, it's just people, right? So I have a second job, so to speak. I work for Rolls-Royce, the engineering company. We build the engine of the planes. When we hire, we do a lot of innovation, but we hire based on people, not the degrees, not the, oh yes. it's part of getting in the door, but the decisions made on people. So what are we going to do? We're going to design or look at which ones are surviving with the bottom-up research. I chose the picture from Lisbon, going out on a journey, right? And we're going to deliver some wonderful things, which is one, a map for a young enterprise, I'll call it. This is where you have to go. This is the direction of travel. It doesn't mean you have to go public. It can mean many things. I'm going to show the route. There are tools for us, easily understandable tools. And it's derived from experience, successes and failures. A sextant and a watch to figure out where you are on the map. A compass, where you're going, the weather, what's it going to look like. A gyroscope, how are you moving? How's that? You're upside down at the moment. You need to go somewhere else. Tools are important as well. We need a research question which is not visible. See if we take that away. Just move this down a little bit. See if that works. There we go. What are the requirements for it? Now, the interesting thing is we know the requirements, but we have to rediscover them together. So for those of you, if you think back to your childhood, or if you have children, it's not just telling them something's hot, something's broken. It's helping them understand what it means. So we have to discover together. And there are certain recipes in the middle which depend upon the product or service. I'm focused on products. I love products. The system, the waves, the ocean, how's that working together? And late adopters, which means we can develop solutions for people that like new stuff, the newest games, the newest bicycles, the newest, whatever your hobby is, right? You have some people who always buy the newest thing that comes into the market. And you can also have things that you design to be in the supermarket, commodity. Probably going to stay here for a bit. So this is, we're in an INCORE, it's scientific, it's a higher education project, so we need some numbers, right? We need some examples. But being an entrepreneur, or trying to drive something forward, is not only theory, it's a lot of practice. But I just wanted to show you this. So what we have here is, on the left-hand side, it's a map over time of how fast a product becomes successful, moves into the market. That red line, that curve on the left, is the ideal speed. It takes time. Now, if you have 9 months, if you're not here within 9 months about, it's going to be difficult. You haven't reached land yet. Right? You haven't gotten back to the safety. This was a case study done by a master's student in Lisbon with Nuno. We worked over case studies. It was 13 case studies in green hydrogen. And we looked at how fast are they going to diffuse. And they were early stage innovations funded by the European Commission. And you just see what do you see? You see patterns. So the most important thing, none of them are going to go to market on time. None of them. So what's going to happen? Good EU money going into efforts that are just so slow, they're probably going to be overtaken by other things. It's normal. It's not a criticism. It's just something to think about. You have to be fast. What we saw then on the right is there's this concept called maturity models, maturity curves. How good are we at doing something? In this case, how good are we at getting to about 84% of the market within, the red line is ideal, within about 150, 200% of project plan. What that means is that some of these are projected to be successful, and some of them have some homework to do. And some of them down here, these are forecasts. Some of them here that are going to take very long is, let's think about what you actually want to do. You may be a bit off pitch. Right? So this is about guiding. We use this tool to assess startups, investment proposals, to think about, are you going to have that success? How can we help bring in friends? How do we do this? How do we get fast? Because at the moment, Nuno, you just started a company. We need to help you. Low maturity, it's not going to work. But how do we do it? Because it's his passion. How do we help? How do we make it work? Well, all right. So obviously, you can drill this art into many, many ways and make it very academic and things like that. But there are some key factors. I'm just going to focus on 3 factors for the moment. So there's a questionnaire there, and there's tools, and you're welcome to use everything. Maybe I'll have a chance to return and work with some people. Reach out to me if you have questions. I care. I think if you're putting your lifeblood into something, just like it. 3 things you need to think about. It's called compatibility with existing ways of working. You need to fit into the way the world works to be successful with your product. This can be legal, it can be regulatory things, it can be introducing a product here which just has descriptions in German. I live in Germany. It's not going to be really helpful. Portuguese might help. English might help. Things like that. It needs to be compatible. People need to be able to test it out and try it out. Proof of concepts are really nice, but go out onto the street, talk to someone, say, does this work for you? Really important. It has to be easy to try. The most important thing is every venture promises something. So you mentioned, for example, the lady in the front here, you'd like to start a company, right? So you want to create value to something. I think I would imagine. Show me. Show me it's not just slides. Show me it's just not a good presentation. I'm good at PowerPoint. I can sell a lot of good things, but the point is you want someone to give you money for something you've put a lot of effort into.
Actually, I already had someone wanting to give me money, but it wasn't in my terms, and I declined.
Okay. So it didn't fit, right, in those lines. Now, money is 2 things. So investment, but it's also the product. That's what I was meaning.
And it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it wasn't according to my passion.
Many different types of investors. Some are short-term, some are long-term. Apologies for the analogy now. Every team member will see in a moment, you're married. Who's married? Right? Who's been married more than once? Okay.
More than once.
Okay. Happy to have a discussion. Like, it's fine. This is like, I sometimes think I'm just like a matchmaker. Let's have a look at whose matches we need. This is a model that's developed over 20, 30 years. It combines social network analysis, or lots of sense. But it's the story of successful change, of fast successful change. It is a way of describing an ecosystem. We've just found it helpful. People seem to understand. I'm just going to take you through it. Each circle here is a role, it's a behavior. Someone you need in the team, or we need in the team. The top, we have a member, usually a user. We call it a user as well. We have, you know something, I just realized I have the wrong version of the slide, so I need to translate this. Names have changed. Ecosystem member, user, think about that. Right? What we have called here the threat assessor just came out of a cybersecurity project, so that's why it's called that. This is an innovator, somebody who has an idea, who creates something. They find a solution. We have what we call experts here. These are thought leaders. These are people who respectively they know what we're talking about. We have geologists. So if you want an advisor, you're not going to pick someone who does secondary education. You want somebody who knows the field. Experts turn your idea into a product. Have you invented something? Or had it your idea? Is it something?
It's not about inventing the wheel, actually. It's really kind of a combination of the goods of the past and the goods of today.
Combination is innovation. So the combination, something good. Let's figure out innovation. Somebody needs to, there are people out there who know how to create a product that you can sell, that you could distribute, that you can scale. There are professionals for that. You can't do everything. You need sponsors in the business, depending on how big you want to be. Depends upon the size of the sponsor, somebody who cares for what you're doing, who mentors you, who tells you the truth. Because everyone out there is going to say, oh, wonderful idea, I love you. And then you just, but did you buy? Not yet. Business is about selling. Don't fool yourself anyway. You need money. Not much. You need a change champion, which is actually called a marketeer. So, I will change out this slide to be proper, and then distribute it to everyone. Somebody who does marketing and sales. I'm bad at that. I'm difficult. I can't sell. I'm a good supporter for sales, but that is a skill that people have. So think about what you do. Think about what roles you do. What we have is these dotted lines. They need to work together, so they need to share what we call intangibles. Now, intangibles are something like trust. If you don't trust someone in your heart, that line is broken and the whole system doesn't work. Everything needs to work together. And you'll notice only down here, what we call a treatment, this is a product. This is something tangible, something you've built. It's only a small part, right? So everyone knows the way the body works, you have muscles, right? So muscles are tangible things. Around them, you have a protective covering that allows that muscle to work. That is intangible, that is trust, that is quality, that is experience, things like that. You must have both. 5-minute warning, thank you. Point is, all of these have to work together. This is what we've discovered over the years. And when we work with young companies, when we work with innovations inside corporations, this is the map we put on. It's, okay, who is what? Are they at the table? And if not, let's get them to it. And the most difficult thing, if there's one thing I'd like you to sort of take with you, the most difficult thing is you have to let go. Innovators, inventors, combinators, it's our idea. It's our child. It's what we believe in. Yeah, that's cool. But if you want to grow and change the world, you need other people and you have to let go. If you want money, the money's going to, the the investor comes with terms, you have to let go and say, okay, fine. Depending on how I want the money, they will change your idea. We marry each one. That's the idea. Doesn't always work. Let's be honest about it. So what are we doing as part of it? We're mapping ecosystems using these templates. We evaluate them. We simulate them. We enable them. But this is part of it. We do some cool system dynamics work on it as well for those who like. This is simulation of detailed interactions. This is applying theory to practice. We even have a data model behind it. So you can actually, which is my entrepreneurial story. I started West Coast Startup, which actually built software off of this. We didn't get second round financing. We aimed too high, but that was one of my stories. So what are we doing here? In INCORE with you, if you like, with your friends, if you like. We want to build that lifeboat that'll survive the storm, get through it quickly. We want to provide some specific deliverables. As I said, they're also research. This is not just experience, but it is a lot of validation. Look at some of the outer regions, do some classical experiments, supporting, we have partners. Our big question is, maybe I can ask you for help here, comparison groups. Who do we compare Madeira to? I do a lot of work with Israel as well, so I thought, well, maybe Israel, but it's different. I'm learning. I've never worked with Madeira before, the Canaries. Who do you compare yourselves to? That's my question now for the discussion, basically, because I need your help, or we need your help to understand where can we learn from. So that's it. Thank you very much. Contact me anytime. Hope to be back. Thank you.